you'll do like stripping and all that, but like one night stand, it's just totally off the table.
I think that is so different.
I mean, it's possible, but it's typically
having one night stands. That's like totally different from stripping.
Okay, fine. You hooked up with a guy on the third date and you dated him for 3 years. That's never really. You dated them for a couple months or a couple years. Really?
Or a few weeks.
Every guy.
When you were a stripper, did you do extras?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not a prostitute, so I don't. Nothing.
See, at least you know that that's prostitution.
That's prostitution. Honestly, you guys can believe whatever the hell you guys want to believe, but I know what the hell I did. I shake ass, and that's the most I fucking did. So, and that's what I do on my OnlyFans. If you guys want to subscribe, go ahead. Feel free to. You'll see a bunch of ass.
Wait, can I ask you a question? So, like, if you heard a stripper tell you, because you worked in how many clubs?
Like 8.
8 different clubs?
Yeah.
So if like a stripper came up to you and she told you she was a virgin, would you believe her?
There's a possibility. There's those rare few. I mean, I started like.
Which way would you lean, though?
Huh?
Which way would you lean?
Well, obviously, everybody's going to be looking at her. You're a stripper. Everybody assumes that strippers are like, what, whores? But that's not the case.
Well, so it is. Look, I'll even grant that it is possible a woman could, I suppose, jump a few steps ahead and become a stripper but still be a virgin. It could happen. Mm-hmm. Maybe it has. In fact, it probably has happened. But it's kind of like it's like, oh, somebody just jumps straight into like shooting heroin. It's like, well...
stripping? You're going to compare stripping to shooting heroin?
No, I'm trying to say,
kind of like
it's
the
like
leeway into it.
Yeah,
like
you're saying that there's a lead into it.
It's all how you look at stuff. It's all how you do stuff. So pretty much, yes,
True,
stripping.
but you agree with me that there's patterns for how people usually do stuff.
Yeah.
And one of those patterns is like if you're a hard drug addict, you usually started with softer drugs. If you're somebody who's
like
in sex work, if you're somebody who's in sex work, you usually had kind of a graduated experience from promiscuity to this, right?
She was a Jehovah's Witness.
In other words, there's still patterns.
Unless they're doing it out of like necessity, like they're in a financial bind or something, they have no other choice. You know what I mean? Like maybe they became a stripper for that reason, and they don't enjoy it per se.
No, that's not usually the pattern, though, right? That would be I think that would usually be the outlier to the pattern. I'm not saying again that's not possible and doesn't happen. I'm sure it does. Brian would concede that does.
Do you think like every stripper does it because they enjoy it genuinely?
No.
If a girl is stripping,
hang on. Let me respond real quick. So to your question, nothing's a monolith. It's not saying all cases of all things always are X, right? That would be absurd.
Yeah.
You just can't ever make the human behavior's super complex, so you can't always make those determinations. But what I can say is that human beings are pattern recognition machines, and that is what we are. And that's how you can predict that you're in a safe area. That's how you can and you're almost always right about these things, right? Because you predict it based on patterns. The same thing occurs with stripping, sex work, drug addicts, addictive behavior. And you know this because you can make predictions based on these things.
Okay.
Right?
Making predictions, that's judging a book by its cover. Like usually what doctors usually do is making an educated guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I thought that you were just talking about
what is the backstory.
That's true, but there's all sorts of times where judging a book by its cover is just fine. Like, let me give you an example of that. A guy runs in with a rifle and a ski mask into a store. He might not be robbing the store, right? Is that not correct? He might not be robbing the store, right?
I mean, it's a bit different.
9 times out of that's
a girl.
Oh, wait a second. Why are you judging a book by its cover?
Because he's
wait a second. That's unbelievable that you would do that.
He's trying to harm someone. A stripper's not trying to hurt anyone.
Wait. Yeah. We haven't established he's trying to harm anyone. We haven't established
that's like a fight or flight.
You're assuming, right? You're assuming.
If someone runs in with a weapon, yes.
Okay, here, let me give you an easier example. You're walking down the street at night, okay? And there's a group of men who are walking towards you, and you cross the street. Aren't you making a shitload of assumptions?
Again, that's a woman alone at night in the middle of the street. One's a woman in a strip club doing
making
their job.
tons of assumptions.
Right, but one's like a matter of safety. Both of those were.
So what? Everything's a matter of safety.
A stripper?
Every predictive model you come up with is a matter of safety. What are you talking about?
How is that
you actually willingly going to the strip club. So
everything. Okay, tell me what you do that isn't a matter of safety. Honestly, when you make a predictive model based on how you judge people or judge your surroundings. Yeah, that wouldn't be a safety issue?
How?
You wouldn't want like bouncers around, things like this?
But what? Okay, but back to the initial question though, I don't understand like.
Back to the fact that we're pattern recognition machines. because we're pattern recognition machines, we pick up patterns all the time, nonstop. We make all sorts of judgments on people all the time for our own personal safety.
That might be wrong, right?
Yeah, of course.
So assuming she went into sex work because she was already promiscuous.
Okay, but I'm not saying that they couldn't be wrong, but I'm giving you examples of where you could be wrong. When a guy runs in with a mask, or if you hop into a car that's making loud banging noises, right?
Safety
you could be everything safety. What isn't safety? How is that not safe? I don't understand how that's not safety
because
related.
She wasn't promiscuous prior. She might not have been. She might have been going into it because of necessity.
Yeah, but okay, wait, stop. We're talking past each other. You're making a value judgment, right? Why would you be making a value judgment on if someone's a sex worker or not? It's because you think, okay, wait a second, there might be a problem here.
Right.
Might be an issue here.
An issue? What do you mean an issue?
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know, if you were dating and someone says, oh, I'm a sex worker, now you're worried about what?
Using that sex worker term is crazy.
Let me answer the question. Sorry. Okay, now suddenly it's, oh, she might have STDs. Oh, she might have venereal disease. She might be very promiscuous, those all seem like they're very much safety related to me.
But that's if you go to that point to end up trying to have sex with a stripper. What strippers are exotic dancers.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is value judgments, which are generally made.
Saying how it could affect you is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's how we make all value judgments.
They're not just dancers. I mean, you buy a dance, you go in the back room, they sit on your lap and all of that. So
yes, I think we're just talking past each other. So
but
maybe
we can. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I do. Like that it's like basically what's her past because of what she does, which I don't think is like always accurate, of course. But I do see what you're saying about how like there's a risk associated because there's an image that people
and so because of this risk which is there, that's why value judgments are there, right? It's the same reason I think that women will cross the street if they're alone at night and there's two men walking towards them, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, right? I think that they're making a value judgment, even though it's probably wrong. In fact it almost always will be wrong, almost every single time. But I don't blame them for doing it. I don't blame them for making that value judgment.
Maybe something with your judgment is wrong with possibly, I don't know how you judge exotic dancers, but maybe your judgment is wrong for that.
Yeah.
Do you think that exotic dancers are like...
But even if I conceded that was true, that really wouldn't negate my point, which is that we make these value judgments based on patterns that we see. So whether or not I judge them wrongly or not wrongly or whatever... that really wouldn't matter to the point of we're judging based on patterns that we see. So usually if we see a stripper, you would agree with me that in most cases, there was probably escalations which led to this. In most cases, it was not I'm 18 and I grew up on the farm and I just can't wait to get to the club. I can't wait, Dad. I can't. Come on, Fido. We're going to go take the cab to the strip club in the city. I can't wait. Like, that's not the normal story, right? The normal story is a single mom, abuse in the home, all sorts of things like this, escalations which led up to promiscuity. These are the common stories which are heard, and the common stories which people hear, not, I was a little house on the prairie and I just couldn't wait to go take off my clothes in front of a bunch of men in a club. That's not usually what you hear, right?
When you say exotic dancers, do you not think strippers are sex workers?
I think it's different. Like the club that I used to work out a lot was Sam's, and like I didn't even take off my top.
Well, what's a sex worker?
I consider, like, I guess I'm a dancer. I'm an exotic dancer. I'm an entertainer. I don't consider myself a sex worker.
Yeah, well, I know. But my question was, what is a sex worker?
A prostitute? I don't know.
When men go to a strip club, what do you think?
Wait, hang on. Wait. What? Like, so like somebody who's doing corn, right? Okay, I have to use the word because we're on YouTube. Okay, but they have like no partner. It's just them.
Oh, wait, that's a sex worker. I guess women that are doing porn.
Is that prostitution?
Well, they're getting paid for it, so to a certain extent.
So if you're getting paid for some type of provocative sexual act.
Well, it's I can kind of compare it to like a burlesque show, like if I'm just dancing with a sexy outfit.
Well, no, it's intent. So, I mean, we have a distinction in intent. It's just like with art. You say, there could be some men who, if they go and they see a nude model, they get, they get very, riled about that. It's like, okay, but there's an intent distinction, right? So the intent distinction, if you're stripping at a club, is to make men's penises hard, right?
Well, that is.
I mean, let's just like be blunt, right?
Yeah, that's usually the intent.
That's what it is. That's what. Hang on, and that's your intent. You're not going there because you just want to listen to the music, right? You're going there because your job's to make a dude's penis hard.
My job is to look good, get money, and shake some ass.
Yeah, and you do that by
dancing. And at Sam's is not actually you sitting on man's lap.
How much more like disingenuous can you possibly be? Your job as a stripper is to make men's penis hard. Yes or no?
Nobody says I have to be touching them.
Okay, yes or no?
It's not that easy.
Yeah, no. So yes or no? Oh, it's as easy as saying no then. No, that's not your job.
No, but apparently if they're from afar and they're watching me and their dick gets hard, apparently then it is what the hell it is.
So all those men are coming in because they just can't wait to see your moves.
Hell yeah.
Is there any other lies you want to give me? Or
I'm not giving no damn lies.
Okay, so you get hired at a strip club because men want to go in and watch you dance, or do they want to see your naked body? Or do they want to see as much flesh as they can?
Nude clubs. I don't work at nude clubs.
Even if you're not working at a nude club, if you're working just as like a bikini barista, do you think that men are going in to...
Obviously, they want to see good-looking women.
Right, they want to see as much flesh as they possibly can.
No one's going to Hooters for their chicken wings.
So what is their job?
To look fucking good.
Yeah.
No, their job's to make the dude's penis hard.
You're getting one thrown at you, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right. But can you just concede that it's true? You still can't concede that it's... I mean, it's so obviously true that the job of these women is to make these men riled up sexually. That's the job, right?
Okay, okay. Yes.
Yes.
So
how's that not sex work?
I don't know. I don't consider it sex work.
But is sex work a bad thing? You know what I mean? I don't think we have to associate it as a bad
thing. Saying it's sex work, the way that it comes off, it just sounds like a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't like the label because you fit under it, right?
I don't fit under it.
You do fit under it. If you were a stripper, you're a sex worker. You meet every criteria for it. Your job is to be sexually provocative, to get men sexually riled up. Your work was sex-related. That was the work. So if you hang on. So if your work is sex related, you are therefore a
entertainment.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I think what she's trying to say is
is there professional coping in that type of entertainment? Anyway, what were you saying?
I think what her line is she's not actually performing the sex, so that doesn't make her a sex worker.
You can say that about porn stars.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not having sex.
She made the concession
but porn stars are
nope, not if they're doing solo. And you said that that's a prostitute. Prostitute, you said was a sex worker.
I just pressed you.
Correct.
Well,
hang on. Did you say that a porn star who's doing solo content on her own was a prostitute? And earlier earlier the criteria for what a sex worker was, the criteria you said was a prostitute. Yes.
You aren't specific, like with saying like if it's by herself, but
yeah, I was literally 100% specific. She's doing it on her own. You said that's a prostitute. She's getting paid for it.
Well, no, because.
Now she's not. Now she's not.
There's okay. I guess if she's doing it by herself, then it's still a sex worker. Actually, because if you're showing pussy, can I say that?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I get it. So hang on. So that would be a sex worker.
Yeah.
Okay. And what makes her a sex worker?
Showing her pussy.
That's it. It's just nudity.
And her, like, if she's doing like.
So what if she just did foot corn?
Corn. Well, feet are actually, that's a normal part of the human body.
Yeah, I know, but people are masturbating to it and sending her tons of money.
It's whatever you decide what is sex to you. People are weird in this world.
But would that be considered a sex worker? If this woman is doing this purposely for the purpose of having men...
think it's however you portray things. Like, I guess if you get to take pictures and people are using your feet as feet corn
No. Again, we have trouble with the establishment of intent. I agree with you that some guy could be fapping to some billboard of some chick's feet somewhere. But that was not the intent of the billboard. Whereas there are women who specifically put their feet in certain positions so that men can fap to the feet, right? Mm-hmm. How's that not sex work?
I still don't. Well, let's agree to disagree because I don't.
Let's not agree to disagree. Let's get to agreement. Let's get to where we can.
I don't think we are going to get to agreement.
Yeah, but you're just being obstinate. It's like you're arguing for the sake of argumentation because you don't want to fit under the criteria of a sex worker for stripping. By the way, just so you know, do you think like people are super dumb and that they just think, well, you know, if I call her a stripper and she says that's not a sex worker and I agree with her for the sake of just being agreeable, that they don't actually still think sex worker? Because they still do.
Okay, they can think what they want to think.
Yeah, I know, but why are they wrong?
I just have a real quick question. Why would you not want to be classified as a sex worker?
You're too far from the mic.
Why would you not want to be classified as a sex worker, just out of curiosity?
I just never categorized myself as a sex worker. I've always said I was an entertainer.
When you think of like a sex worker, what like
literally what comes to my brain is like porn stars, prostitution, like actual like real life doing it.
Yeah, I totally understand those criteria and why you would have those criteria. I just don't understand what makes those things that and not what you were doing that. That's like where I'm having trouble reconciling this. And you just kind of say, well, because I just don't think of it that way. It's like, but now I'm making you think of it that way. Mm-hmm. Give me the what is the symmetry breaker? What is the thing that makes stripping not sex work, but these other things sex work?
Because literally a stripper can be like anything. I've literally got paid just to sit down and talk with a guy and literally be his therapist. Yeah, well, not fully, bikinis.
Well, no, of course
bikinis.
not. So you being,
but girls are in bikinis at the beach. It doesn't matter. Like,
but what's the purpose? What was the purpose? What was the intent?
Because men want to talk to beautiful women that have a nice body. That is what it is. That is what I look at.
What'd you guys talk about?
His job, his relationship with his wife.
Sorry, let me cut in really quick. I've just been perusing your OnlyFans here. On your OnlyFans on August 16th, you published a video with the description that says, "New secret BG boy-girl tapes. For limited time only, boy-girl implying male-female."
No.
Mm-hmm.
So you've published to your OnlyFans a video of you having sex with a man.
No.
It says BG.
I know.
So what?
I have people run my OnlyFans for me. It's just my boyfriend grabbing my ass and us taking like provocative like pictures. We never fucked. Like,
you also sell a pussy box?
They make it sound more nastier than what it is, but if you guys want to subscribe so you guys can see what I post, go ahead, feel free to.
It says the most explicit face-sitting pussy POVs.
You gotta make it sound crazy.
You're a sex worker, bro.
You have to.
You're a sex worker.
Bro. You're a sex worker, you're scamming people.
If you look at it, literally subscribe and you'll see. You'll literally see what I post.
Well, I'm just all my nudes, bare ass, tits and pussy. Bro, you're a sex worker.
They asked me, do you want to talk vulgar? Yeah, go ahead.
But
say whatever you want to say.
Just admit you're a sex worker. It's okay. Just say you're a sex worker.
I don't think
so. You're scamming people on there?
Yeah. Fuck it down.
That's almost worse than being.
Yeah.
I think that's worse than being a set. Like just.
And I don't give a damn.
Okay, whatever. You also do dick rating. You do dick ratings.
They say that.
So you
like
look.
Anybody with a micro penis used to say like, oh, like it's small. Like I have somebody that runs my OnlyFans for me.
None of this is sex work.
Just admit it's sex work.
It's sex work.
There's nothing wrong with sex work. It's okay.
Yeah, just cop.
Well, there's I mean, I think there's lots of things wrong with it, but not to like parse words. It's definitely sex work. There's like, how do you get around that? I don't see how you get around that.
Also,
hang on. I want to. What did she say? Maybe.
Prerogative. And it's a little bit.
All right,
it's
we had it, Brian.
So close.
No.
It also says full XXX tape on some other post. I'm not going to continue. I mean, it's all.
You can keep going.
Here, I'll read the super chats.
You guys can really keep going.
Oh, wait, how are you allowed to post this and be a teacher?
I'm sorry, I have to move.
Nobody knows about it. It's under another name.
Oh boy.
But you just.
Okay. Well, Mr. Unremarkable, girl, you are a Hoover. Mental gymnastics will not change that. What's a Hoover?
A vacuum. So it sucks.
Vacuum.
So it sucks.
It's a good one.